forest awakens in the morning mist. Every path is lined with traps, and the farmers stand silent, their eyes full of worry. Wild boars don't just destroy the crops, they're a constant threat. Even with the traps set, those cunning beasts always find a way to slip through. That's when we are called in, to stop the invaders before they strike again. This is not just a battle between man and beast, it's a never-ending struggle between humans and the wild. As the sun climbs higher, our team gears up for the challenge ahead. In the quiet woods, the hounds finally break the silence. The chase is on. I move closer, steady, every sense sharpened. The dark silhouette is soon cornered by our skilled hunting dogs. I wait for the perfect moment. No rush, no mistakes. Then, with a steady breath, I pull the trigger. A clean headshot. The beast collapses instantly. That victory fuels our spirit. Before long, another massive shadow moves through the underbrush. I stalk carefully, silent, precise. At the perfect range, I stop. No hesitation. One sharp crack echoes through the woods, and the boar drops among the dry leaves. We press deeper into the dense jungle. Every sound, every scent could mean another target. The musky odor of wild boar fills the air. I tighten my grip, ready for whatever comes. It charges out of nowhere, fierce and wild. Gunfire roars back, each shot deliberate, unflinching. It falls, and I realize just how close I was to danger. Minutes later, my four-legged partner catches the scent. His bark turns sharp, urgent. The pack closes in, surrounding the prey. Thanks to their coordination, I can finish the job cleanly. In this dense forest, every shadow could hide a beast. Without these powerful dogs, finding the boars would be nearly impossible, and surviving, even harder. Thomas signals from afar. Following the familiar barks, I spot the massive silhouette moving under the canopy. Everything slows down. The aim, the breath, the trigger. Bang! The shot lands perfectly. Target down in seconds. After hours of tense pursuit, the sunlight fades. We hurry to leave before darkness takes over, but the shadows move again. The hunt isn't quite done. The dogs spring into action, locking the final target in place. One last shot rings out, closing today's chapter in the wild. Kevin's team arrived at 5 p.m. sharp. In less than 5 minutes, they spread out swiftly, surrounding every corner. From his vantage point, Kevin scanned the entire field through his binoculars. Then, a large figure appeared head down, grazing, completely unaware. Without hesitation, his finger snapped on the trigger like lightning. The dark silhouette crashed down, a swift, clean, and powerful takedown. Clearly, the hunter's expert skill had perfectly dominated the prey. An impressive start and a clear warning to any wild boar thinking of destroying the crops. Moving deeper into the heart of the field, Kevin left no gap unchecked. Sure enough, another wild boar was brazenly wreaking havoc here. Without wasting time, Kevin quickly locked onto his target and chose the perfect shooting angle. The sharp crack of the shot echoed, sending the beast into a panic. But after just a few desperate steps, it collapsed in the bushes. It had restored the peace this place once knew. At another spot in the field, Jay locked onto his target without hesitation and fired. The decisive shot seemed to release all the frustration built up from seeing the crops destroyed. The wild boar dropped instantly. The loud bang sent the others into a panic, scattering into the shadows in a flash. But there's nowhere to run when our team has already laid a full perimeter. Stay tuned and watch as the chase unfolds. Continuing the challenging hunt, the team quickly gathered to strategize and tighten the net on the remaining boards. As darkness fell, a new battle line was drawn. With modern gear in hand, Kevin soon spotted a lone wild boar separated from the herd, busy feeding in the field. Without hesitation, he squeezed the trigger. One precise shot brought the prey down instantly, ending the threat and saving the field from another night of destruction. The seamless coordination between cutting-edge equipment and team spirit forged a solid front that made completing the mission much easier. A signal came in, reporting the wild boar herd gathering at the edge of the field. Kevin and his team moved in immediately. Upon arrival, everyone quickly took their positions, ready to fire. A volley of shots erupted simultaneously, and the herd was subdued in an instant. The battle was over, restoring peace to the field once again. The sound of gunshots rang out, marking the end of a tense night hunt and bringing peace back to the field. Today's victory was the result of strong collaboration between the hunting team, farmers, and local authorities, all working together to protect the crops. We're truly grateful for their support. All our activities took place within the designated areas and under strict supervision. Unbelievable! A terrifying scene unfolding across America. Fields and crops vanish overnight. None other than wild boars. In an effort to protect the peace of the villages, skilled hunters have set out on a noble mission to push back the threat of wild boars ravaging the farmlands. This hunt is not just a battle, but an intense journey to safeguard the fruits of the farmers' labor. To prepare for today's hunt, the hunters are outfitting themselves with state-of-the-art tools, from powerful rifles, high-tech binoculars, to suppressors to maintain the secrecy of their positions, all for the safety and tranquility of the village. Follow them closely. Witness the breathtaking moments and the unpredictable action. Will they succeed? Stay tuned to find out. Kevin's team marches toward the field, the first location of the day. They quickly disperse, each taking their designated ambush positions. The entire team remains silent, waiting. About 10 minutes later, from the east, Jay spots a group of wild boars. They're entering the area, starting to root and destroy the crops. Jay raises his rifle, locking onto the lead boar, the largest one in the herd. Boom! The beast is hit, but still tries to escape. The rest of the boars panic, scattering wildly into the thick bushes, disappearing from sight. Undeterred, Kevin quickly targets a lone boar that's fallen behind the group. A sharp shot rings out, shattering the silence. The boar drops instantly. The first victory fuels the team's momentum.
Yapıştır.
On the other side, Jay is silently closing in on a wild boar hiding among the bushes. James, stationed at the roadblock, moves quietly, holding his breath as he crouches behind a patch of grass. Suddenly, a large shadow bursts out from the underbrush. The wild boar charges straight toward the field. Without hesitation, James pulls the trigger. The sound of the gunshot echoes. The wild boar collapses instantly, unable to cause any more damage. One shot, one decisive blow, saving the entire field. Soon after, the sound of hounds echoed from afar, signaling the appearance of the target. James and his team quickly pinpoint the sound, moving to a strategic position for a clear shot. A large shadow emerges from a distance. A wild boar is moving slowly toward the field. James, with his vast experience, doesn't rush. He waits, carefully lining up his shot on the boar's head. Boom! The shot rings out sharply. The wild boar collapses onto the cold earth, unable to react. The threat has been neutralized before it could cause any harm. This isn't just a game. It's a duty to protect the livelihoods of the people, and the battle is far from over. After taking a break to recover, the team moves westward toward a dense thicket, the perfect hiding spot for the wild boars. From a distance, they can hear the hounds barking, a sound that echoes through the air. Using the trained instincts of a seasoned hunter, Kevin quickly takes his position. Sure enough, a massive wild boar suddenly bursts out of the bushes, charging toward Kevin at full speed. Without a second's hesitation, he squeezes the trigger. The boar collapses, barely a meter away from him. If he'd hesitated for even a split second, Kevin might not be standing here now. What do you think of this intense face-to-face showdown? Drop a comment below and let us know. A moment later, the sound of hounds suddenly echoed from the trail, signaling the target's presence. James and his team rushed forward, quickly pinpointing the location. They take cover behind thick bushes, rifles aimed forward. The atmosphere becomes tense. A wild boar appears. Without hesitation, James squeezes the trigger. The sharp crack of the shot fills the air. The boar collapses, unable to take another step. A danger has been eliminated. The perfect coordination between the hunting dogs and the hunter's precise shooting skills forms the solid step toward protecting this year's harvest. The hunt has become exhausting. The team is preparing to pack up and rest. A moment of silence envelops the forest, only to be shattered by the urgent barking of the hounds. A clear signal. This is the final target of the day. With climate change and increasingly favorable habitats, the wild boar population in New South Wales has surged dramatically. It's estimated there are now over 8 million wild boars roaming the region. They've spread from mountain forests into farmlands, causing severe damage. Farmers report that a single herd can destroy an entire crop overnight. In response, we planned carefully to reduce damage and control these wild invaders. Armed with determination and thorough preparation, We left town, jumped on our vehicles, and headed straight into the wild boar's hiding grounds. Thanks to sharp instincts and the trained skills of our hunting dogs, the target was quickly picked up. Using agility and training, the dogs kept the prey locked down. Seizing this precious moment, I pulled the trigger decisively. The first shot was a success, bringing joy and confidence to the whole team and fueling our hunting spirit. The vastness of the terrain made tracking our targets tough and time-consuming. We kept moving across open areas on our Yamaha Viking, eyes peeled for any signs. Soon enough, a dark shadow revealed itself. Adjusting the scope and range, shots rang out one after another, each bullet hitting its mark and bringing down the beast instantly. Without hesitation, we continued sweeping the area before the boars could react. Minutes later, the sharp crack of gunfire echoed from different corners. The zone quickly fell under our control. Deeper inside, we stumbled upon a herd moving through tall grass. Taking careful aim, I squeezed the trigger without hesitation. One shot after another found their marks, cutting off all escape routes. No matter how quick they were, they couldn't outmatch our coordinated and precise teamwork. There was no chance for these destructive invaders. When word came of wild boars spotted to the south, Thomas was dispatched immediately. On his ATV, he sped through the terrain, weaving like a pro dancer, closing in fast on the prey. At perfect range, the bullet flew like destiny, leaving the beast motionless. During the fight, one boar broke out of sight and darted left. Thomas called it in. Without hesitation, I raced over, speeding like the wind to the designated spot. But this one was tricky, dodging and weaving slyly. It took a few minutes to nail down its path. When the moment was right, I lined up and squeezed the trigger. The sharp crack of the shot echoed like a final verdict. A well-earned victory, born of patience, precision, and perfect timing. As evening shadows fell and tension filled the air, everything seemed to hold its breath, waiting for the final result. Suddenly, a dark figure slipped in and out of view, a last challenge. Then, the decisive gunshot rang out, sharp and clear, sealing the success of the entire hunt. The team packed up, returning to the village with today's hard-earned trophies, proud to have protected the crops and preserved peace on this land. In France, wild boars are not just prey, but a significant threat. They destroy over 3,000 hectares of farmland each year, causing severe damage to farmers. As a result, hunting is permitted year-round to control the rapidly growing population of these beasts. At dawn, Nick's team sets out, following the fresh tracks left behind on the soft ground. Everything goes according to plan, until a monstrous creature suddenly emerges. Will they have time to react? And who will take the decisive shot? Stay with us to find out. Down the rugged hillside, a heavy wild boar is desperately trying to escape from the hounds chasing it. Little does it know, just ahead, Nick is waiting in position. One split second of mistake, and the sharp crack of a perfect shot rings out. The beast collapses, the chase ending in an instant. The hunt begins with a mark of precision like no other. On the southern slope, James patiently watches every movement before him. The dense thicket of trees prevents him from letting his guard down. Before he can think further, a shadow suddenly emerges from behind a trunk. Instinctively, James' finger twitches. Perfect! The shot flies, flawless in its execution. Another victory marked, securing peace for this land. As the sun climbs higher, the hunter's spirits remain undeterred. Each step is steady, their eyes sharp, never leaving their target. Isn't that the wild boar? It charges forward with lightning speed. Nick swiftly reloads his rifle. The sound of the gunshot echoes, blending with the pounding of running feet. The bullets fly true, quickly bringing the chase to an end. Once again, the perseverance and precision of the hunting team have ensured the safety of this land. After the intense chase, 30 minutes of silence passed with no sign of movement. It seems the gunshots had scared the boars into hiding even deeper. Nick's team quickly signaled to reposition. Following the remaining tracks, the massive form gradually emerged from behind the thick trees. Steadying his rifle, Nick took the shot. In the tense atmosphere that enveloped them, all that remained was the deafening crash as the bullet found its mark. Nick continued his steady march deeper into the forest. Suddenly, the whistle of the horn echoed, and Nick quickly pinpointed the direction of the wild boar's approach. "It's here! It's coming!" Without hesitation, he raised his rifle, his finger tightening on the trigger. The shot was flawless, the blockade successful. Nothing escapes. Another perfect shot, a testament to the skill of a true professional hunter. Do you think you could make that shot if you were in his position? Leave a comment below. Nick and his team pressed on, relentlessly tracking the last few wild boars remaining. Luck soon smiled on James as one careless boar ventured straight into his sights. The sharp crack of the shot rang out, ending the looming threat. A series of shots followed, echoing across the forest, marking the close of a long, intense day. The beasts had retreated, and the forest could finally breathe, if only for a rare moment of peace. The victory belongs not only to the brave marksmen, but also to the close collaboration between the local community, the authorities, and the unwavering teamwork of the entire group.
Whoa!